Woo-hoo! We're live, and it is draft day, baby. I cannot wait. We got what? How many hours? 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours. I see some people in the chat already on this beautiful, beautiful Thursday of draft day. Snowman, Josh Moore, appreciate you guys tapping in here already this early. I've never been live before on this particular channel. Obviously, I've been live, roster watch, orange bloods, all this other stuff. We haven't been live on the draft ranking show, and I know generally we come out at 7 a.m. So those listening on podcast, you're not going to get this thing until probably about 10 a.m. Eastern time on here on draft day. But for the YouTube audience, thank you guys for tapping in. Click that like button, click subscribe if you are here. Again, we're just going to talk about my final mock draft. I turned this thing in last night for the huddle report, and I feel indifferent. I did a couple of things. Usually every year I do a couple of things that are rather outlandish. A couple of years ago, I put Felix Anudike-Uzomah to the Kansas City Chiefs at 32. He goes there. This year, I think the one nugget, two nuggets actually, I would say. JT Tuimoloau, the edge rusher for defensive end from Ohio State, I sent to the Washington Commanders at 29. And then the other one, which is, as Alex Dunlap would tell me, is crazy. He's like, that is maniacal, is Nick Scorton, the defensive end edge rusher from Texas A&M, not Shamar Stewart, goes 17 to the Bengals. And the reason I did this, and the reason that I would do something maybe a little bit out of pocket, is because the goal of the first round for the huddle report, if you follow along, is to get the most players correct out of the 32. Nobody got all 32 last year. I think the best was 28 or 29. I can pull up the huddle report right now and tell y'all what those exact numbers were. So last year, the winner was Jason Boris. Our guy Mike Bannon from Roster Watch took second with Peter Schrager. They both got 29 players out of 32. So it's really hard to get there. Bill Dow, who took 10th overall, got 30 players, but he only had 10 matches. Bannon and Schrager had 12 matches. So that's kind of the area you're kind of looking for. You're trying to have at least 12 matches. And then, of course, you want to have 28 to 32 players in round one. So that's kind of why the Scorton, JT Tuimoloau thing come in, because you got to be a little bit different than the consensus. You can't have the same 32 players as everybody else has. Otherwise, you're not going to be any different than anybody else is. So we'll get through it really quickly here. Any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll answer them. I'll talk to y'all. Snowman, it's on like Donkey Kong. He says, let's go. It's Christmas morning, or maybe just like Hanukkah, since the draft will be lasting 8 crazy nights. Who gets the gifts and who gets the coal? Man, I hope the Bears take a top running back. Snowman, I hope the Bears take Caleb Johnson at pick 41. I hope the Bears take Caleb Johnson at pick 41, and I hope that they use him like David Montgomery and Swift like Gibbs, and we get the true duo and not just, like a Genty or a Henderson there, making Swift a moot point, which is interesting because I've never, ever been a DeAndre Swift guy. But I do think in this offense, he should be fine. So I'd love to see Caleb Johnson in Chicago playing with DeAndre Swift, not taking a job away from DeAndre Swift. All right, mock draft. My final mock. I'll just leave it at the top 10 is pretty straightforward, so I'll just walk through it really quickly. Titans take Cam Ward. Browns take Travis Hunter, the corner/receiver from Colorado. Giants take Abdul Carter, edge rusher from Penn State. Patriots go Will Campbell, LSU. I could probably share my screen, to be honest with you. That'd probably be pretty cool for the YouTube audience rather than me just talking through it. Here we go. I guess I'm now not on the screen. Let me see if I can fix that. Double wide. There we go. Okay, there we go. Titans, Cam Ward. Browns, Travis Hunter. Giants, Abdul Carter. Patriots, Will Campbell. Jags, Ashton Genty at number 5. For the podcast audience, just go over to YouTube. Type it in, the Draft Ranking Show. Click that subscribe button and tap in. You can watch the draft if you want to stop right now. It'll only be 5 more minutes. Jets at 6 goes Raiders. Take Mason Graham, the defensive tackle from Michigan. 7, Armand Membu, the right tackle from Missouri, goes to the Jets to finish up that offensive line. Another one that's a little bit stretched here, but we've heard that the Saints are going to be a little bit out of pocket, and they're maybe not going to go in line with everybody else. Shamar Stewart, edge rusher with projection 4.5 career sacks from Texas A&M. He joins the Saints at pick 9. Tyler Warren to the Bears. I tweeted it out just an hour ago, man. two picks that I wanted to make, but I'm just too much of a coward to do for the tournament or the contest was Tyler Warren to the Niners and Kelvin Banks to the Patriots at 4. Those were the two picks I really wanted to make, but I just didn't have the stones to do it because it would make this whole mock pretty gross. All right, number 11, Walter Nolan to the 49ers. Tedrow McMillan, the wide receiver, to the Cowboys. I still, in my heart of hearts, think the Cowboys go Tyler Booker, but I'm going to go ahead and give them Tedrow McMillan. Kelvin Banks falls to 13. I'm now somehow the lowest in the community, in the industry, on Kelvin Banks at 13 here, which is wild because for those that have tapped in, I've been talking about Kelvin Banks in the flat circle since the first show on the draft rankings, and I've been talking about it on Roster Watch for months. So it's pretty wild / surreal to be like, yeah, I'm the lowest on Kelvin Banks. It's just bonkers. Everybody else has him at 6 to the Raiders, which I agree with, but I think it's a little bit of a boomerang effect, them putting him up there. But the attachment to John Spytek, who drafted Tristan Wirfs, put him at right tackle, moved him to left tackle after a year, worked in Tampa with Jason Light. Gray Zabel, Colts. A lot of people are plugging in tight end here. The one thing I'll tell you, the last couple of years, we've learned with Chris Ballard, nobody knows what the hell Chris Ballard is going to do because he always comes through that press conference at the end after they make their pick, and he goes, I'm really proud of everybody in the building. No leaks got out. Nobody knew, and we took Anthony Richardson instead of Will Levis, or we took Liatu Latu instead of Brock Bowers. It was just like it catches everybody by surprise. So I'm going to go Zabel over tight end here again. Zabel, interior offensive lineman from the North Dakota State. Sorry, not North Dakota. Shout out Fighting Sioux. Falcons take James Pierce here, edge from Tennessee. Instant regret here because our guy D. Orlando Ledbetter, one of the best Falcons reporters, tweeted out this morning a couple of pictures from the Georgia Pro Day, including Mykel Williams. So Mykel Williams, if I had to adjust it this morning, which I can't because it was due last night at midnight, I would probably plug Mykel Williams in here to the Falcons. Jahdae Barron, the cornerback from Texas, goes to the Cardinals. Like I said before, Nick Scorton, the edge from A&M, goes to the Bengals. Matthew Golden, wide receiver from Texas, goes to the Seattle Seahawks to join JSN and Cooper Kupp. Ooh, baby, that is a sick wide receiver core with Sam Darnold. Unfortunately, there's no offensive lineman to block for Sam Darnold. So we'll see how he handles that pressure. Mykel Williams, the aforementioned, goes to the Bucs here at 19. Travion Henderson, we got back-to-back running backs. Travion Henderson goes to the Broncos. And then Omarion Hampton, a flat circle play here, goes to the Steelers at 21, despite the Steelers telling us that Jalen Warren's the running back 1. Chargers go Colston Loveland here at 22. Packers go Josh Simmons, left tackle. That one just makes too much sense. I've gotten comments, that's wrong. If Simmons is there, Simmons makes a lot of sense for the Packers. Browns trade up with the Vikings for Shedeur Sanders here at 24. Pair him up with his college teammate Travis Hunter. Houston Texans take Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State to pair up with C.J. Stroud. The Saints trade up from 40 to 26 with the Rams and take Jackson Dart, the quarterback from Ole Miss. The Ravens take Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia. Lions take Donovan Ezaraku from Boston College. I talked about Tuamale out to the Commanders. Kenneth Grant. Everybody that's a Bills fan has told me that they want Kenneth Grant here, and Kenneth Grant falls here. So Kenneth Grant is the answer next to Ed Oliver. I love that duo up in Buffalo. The last two picks, Donovan Jackson, the versatile offensive lineman, goes to Kansas City, plugs in directly at guard, can bump out to left tackle, 35-inch arms. I love Donovan Jackson. And then the last selection is the speedster, Maxwell Hairston, to pretty much complete this back end. They got Kelly Ringo, Cooper DeJean. They got Quinyon Mitchell last year. Now they get Maxwell Hairston, the 4.22 running, 4.2, what is he, 4.28 running? 4.28 running 40 in Maxwell Hairston. There's the mock. All right, Snowman, I like the Banks to the Dolphins. He says Golden is going before the Seahawks. I generally agree with you, but again, this is just how the mock fell. This is how mocks fall and how things happen. He says, I think the Jags are trading back. It has to be Jags trading out, maybe the Raiders, but maybe the Bears. A lot of options today, a lot of things that could happen today. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, tuning in this beautiful, beautiful morning. Please click that like button on the way out. And again, the next 3 days, I'll be probably not going to go live. I'm probably going to just do pre-records again. So we're ready at 7 a.m. because listen, man, shout out to Frank. Shout out to our guy, Frank. Hot water lemon, and honey to get the voice ready at the crack of dawn this morning. Usually I record at like midnight, 1 a.m. the night before. Not today. We're live. Honey, hot water, and lemon. So 7 a.m. Eastern time the next 3 days, doing some recaps and some projecting into round 2 and 3 and into day 3. But during the day, for all of your coverage, round 1 through 7 will be live on the Player Profiler YouTube channel. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Until tonight.